welcome back to another interview for Battle of the Bands from UIC Radio. I'm Paulina.
I'm Mariana.
And we're here with our comedy group for Battle of the Bands. So would you like to introduce yourselves?
Of course. My name is Dylan. This is
Zach.
Shania.
and we are Red Light.
School District.
Nice. Can you tell us about the Red Light School District and what you guys do?
Yes, I will. We are a completely student independent ran organization. We've existed at UIC for 20 years. We were started as a senior project for a theater student, and his goal was to just have it continue to go on for 20 years. Maybe not exactly 20 years, but
Yeah.
at least 20 years.
That's still a very long time.
Quite a long time, and again, we're independent. We're not signed up with SAB or CSI, so everything we do, we kind of do on our own. We make our own money. We spend our own money. When we need a rehearsal room, we find the nearest empty classroom. We don't get to have any room reservations, but that allows us to be able to go out, perform at stages all over Chicago. An improv stage exists in Chicago. We've been out at Annoyance, I.O., Second City. Some stages we've been to performed at don't exist anymore. They were raided by the FBI.
wow.
And that's really anything about us. Am I missing anything, my constituents?
No.
So kind of to segue from that. So how did you all meet each other?
Well, I joined when I was a freshman. It's my senior year. I'm on my way out, so I met Zach and Shania when they joined the team. I knew Shania because she was in theater and I had been around there, but
And then I'm a freshman, so I joined during the fall semester, and I kind of just went in by myself, and I was like, "What is this?" And then auditioned and got in, I guess. Yeah.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
really fun performing around the city.
Sounds nice. Sounds nice. You mentioned that Shania, you did theater, right?
Yes.
So this kind of goes into the next question. What got you into comedy and improv? I want to start off with you first. Was it like theater or?
Yeah. I think anything is really improv if you really. I've done improv games and done things since I was like 8 until now. But like this is more specifically like performing improv. So I think that's what you get like into.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, what about you guys?
I loved improv. I loved to try and be funny and be the center of attention ever since I was a kid. I started watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? Which is
I
a very
love that show.
awesome improv show, and after I watched Colin Mockery and all of those awesome people do improv, I was like, I have to absolutely do this. And college improv is a thing as much as college radio is a thing. So when I came to UIC, I had to find the improv team.
Yeah, and then in high school, I had a teacher that had taken Second City classes, and he brought improv and back to my high school and started teaching us, and we grew like pretty big, and I always was like interested in it, and so I got into that, and then I mean I've been watching a lot of improv. Yeah, I've watched Whose Line Is It
You got
Anyways?
a shirt on right now.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Ben Schwartz and Friends recently toured. He's touring a lot, and then he also had a Netflix special, Schwartz and Middleditch and Schwartz, where it was long form improv for 1 hour each. There was 3 episodes, and I loved those. Yeah.
Fun.
It's pretty fun.
That's actually really fun. So kind of to all of you, do you have a favorite character to improv as, or like, do you have your favorite kind of quip you guys do? Like, what's your favorite little improv thing you guys like to do?
It's a good question. You know, sometimes we have reoccurring voices more so than characters. The characters exist for the length of the scene, and once that's over, those characters are never to be seen again, usually. But the voice question comes later, so I won't get into that.
Yes.
But usually I end up being a male person. I'm blessed to tend to do voices or be different characters, so I try and be the straight man and react to crazy characters more so than be a crazy character. That's me.
I will say it depends on the game or the suggestion, honestly. But I think I personally would go as like a child and play with that usually. Make it how absurd. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like how Dylan likes to be the straight man, I really like being the freak or like the, just like just being wild on stage, and then so that kind of balances out the straight man, and we can have all sorts of interactions through that.
So you kind of like having to play a character that maybe isn't like you the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I try to differ my posture and stuff, and I don't know. Yeah. Just yeah.
Sounds exciting. I think you guys are like a perfect balance. So
I
I'm
think so.
excited to see like you guys perform in battle events.
We're excited.
So kind of piggyback off that question. Do you have a favorite accent or impression to do, and why?
Kind of going into like the whole voice.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I kind of stray away from accents a lot. I remember one time we were doing a performance, and I tried to be French for like a little bit.
We were both French.
Yeah, we were both French.
You started it.
I started it. Well, it took place in France, and then I was like, oui, and then I was like,
So
I
really
can't do
playing
this
into
the
that
entire scene.
stereotypical.
yeah,
French.
I was like, I
Once-
can't do this the entire scene, so I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore, and then just like went on with the scene, and yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said you're not gonna do this anymore while performing the scene?
Yes,
Or-
yes.
Sometimes,
Really
we,
segue.
sometimes we get meta with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sometimes it's interesting to break the fourth wall with the audience.
That's
and,
definitely fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that makes the best moments. I think
Yeah,
in
yeah.
comedy for sure.
We try not to do accents just because, exactly like Zach says, once you lose that accent, then
It's hard.
it's hard to get back. I
Mhm.
tried to do an Italian accent once, and it was just a French accent. So then I had to be an Italian man who was obsessed with French culture. It was the
That's
best
good.
way to justify it. Should I anything?
People usually do Southern. We do lots
Southern.
of Southern.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
then
true.
also British that goes into
Yeah.
Southern. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe like a transatlantic almost feeding.
Oh yeah,
into that.
transatlantic a lot too, and then try and just pronunciate. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
a lot of country, a lot of hick accents. For Sure.
Okay. Okay. So we kind of touched on this a little bit. Do you guys have like a favorite, maybe like problematic comedian, or just like a comedian in general you guys really like, or that you are inspired by?
I suppose for problematic, I would go to like old sketch comedy. I loved Monty Python because they were like the originators of these really wacky, silly sketches. Some of them are somewhat dated just because they're kind of old. And in the same vein, Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, Bob Odenkirk of Better Call Saul fame. He had a great sketch show. And again, some of those are a bit dated, but the ones that are not dated last the
Okay.
test of time.
Yeah. He's like kind of problematic. John Mulaney.
I
with
love
his-
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney is
Yeah.
amazing.
I
He
saw-
cheated on his wife.
I saw him
But-
live here in Chicago a few years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got to see him. Yeah, too.
He-
Yeah.
He did his salt and pepper bit, salt and pepper
Ooh,
diner
that's-
bit when he was here. I was
No
like-
way.
It was perfect because he added a little bit onto it. It was really good. It sucked they didn't
Jeez.
record that one, but it was really good. It's a good
Yeah.
homage.
I think he's from Chicago. I think
He
they need to record a special that's in Chicago instead of.
I agree. They did a long time ago.
They
But
did?
Right,
Yeah.
one of them.
It's one of his
Ooh.
comedy specials. I think it's not the Radio City one, but I think it might have been
In the Chicago
Comeback
theater,
Kid or
yeah.
one of them. But yeah, they did one of them
okay.
at the Chicago theater. So
Nice.
Netflix, I believe so.
I don't know. I'm thinking like back to when I just watched stand up. I think of like Cat Williams, and then like all
Ooh.
of
Cat
that.
Williams is
Just
good.
That's a
stand-up,
good
but
one.
Yeah.
Who is a comedian that inspires you? Sorry.
I love Conan O'Brien.
That's a good one.
I try and emulate his hostness, but something we like to do at Red Light is we try and what we call millennial improv. We try and stay away from millennial improv because it's very ironic. It's very much just like, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? We try and be Gen Z improv, I guess, in a way. We try and be very silly. We try and be very quirky and weird. It would be very funny if vegetables had a fraternity and you got to see carrots and
Oh.
cucumbers talking because that's a crazy concept. And
Yeah.
we try not to be ironic. So
Okay.
Conan is very silly. We try and be silly. I try and be silly.
I mean, I would just say John Mulaney again. Really, I really love the guy, and he's just so creative. And I like him and Nick Kroll. And yeah, you don't like Nick Kroll, I know
like
that,
Nick Kroll.
but And then like also, I love Donald Glover. He's really
That's-
good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For me, because I'm the theater kid, so it's not really like comedians. I'll say like like famous actresses
Okay,
that
we
like
do
really
that.
inspire me, and that goes to like I want to say like right when Bridesmaids, like full SNL Bridesmaids, Melissa McCarthy, Maya Rudolph, like that. I was like, let me be one of them. Let me.
That's good. Okay, so kind of, this is another question. What kind of drew you guys to maybe perform at Battle of the Bands? 'Cause we have like all these bands performing, but you guys are the one comedy group. So like, what kind of brought you guys here to us?
Well, we've been trying to become more well known on campus. We do shows off of campus, and it's very fun to be able to perform in front of people we have no idea who they are at Second City. But I would love to be a micro campus celebrity of sorts because that would be super fun. And we've been doing shows last semester a lot, and we got some pretty good numbers, but not the entire school, which was my hope. So this is hopefully a way for us to get our names out there more. Usually when we ask people, like, have you ever heard of Red Light? They're like, absolutely not. So this is maybe the goal, to get ourselves out there more and show more people improv and show more people that, hey, there's something to do on campus and you can come do our thing on campus. That was our hope. And we like music too. So
Oh, that's pretty cool. So kind of like, what would what would getting to moderate Spark mean to you?
being able to meet Party Next Door again.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back. I don't know. You guys go ahead
But
and answer.
if it
I-
happened-
Good.
I guess like for me, it's like just to like I love public speaking, so like hosting, being an MC, just getting to like talk. Like I think that's like the best way. to,
Improvivers love
Yeah.
to be the center of attention. So
Yeah.
This is a perfect opportunity for us.
Exactly. Yeah. I went to Spark this year, and that was my first time, and I was like, this is really cool, and this is really nice, and it would be really fun to be up on that stage and everything. So that was my why I wanted to moderate
Yes.
Spark.
Too, depending on what access to resources we have, we worked with SAB to make a video, and I wanted Sparky really bad. I just wanted Sparky, and we got Sparky. So if we can get Sparky, I was wondering what else. Okay, can we get some pyro in there? We're the Flames, Can we get some sort of awesome flamethrower? We got the UIC pocket at our dispense. Maybe we'll see, but
Maybe.
that's cool
Maybe.
too.
So, kind of going off of music and like Spark. So, what are your current favorite like musical artists or just like music in general, even if you're not super into music?
Okay, I guess I can go first.
Yeah.
I think like I'm more like indie pop, so like I
Yes,
really am into right now Dominic Fike, Remy Wolf, but Charlie can't go. Chapel right now is. I don't want to say Chapel, but
Favorite problematic musician.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone loves Chaperone right now because
Oh, exactly. She's a little.
Yeah.
it's just straighten the
just the
line a little
music.
bit. But
Yeah, like separate the music and the art.
there's a lot of those right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't really know. I kind of like go around genres a lot. And I mean, recently I did go to the Rex Orange County concert in Chicago,
Did you?
and that was really nice. And so yeah, I really like listening to him and everything. Yeah.
I would say top three would be Grateful Dead, MF Doom, and Les Miserables. I'm putting that up there. My family was
True.
obsessed with Les Mis, and I think in 2023 I was like the 0.001% listener of Les Mis, of specifically the live recording in like 1986. Colm Wilkinson, undefeated of Jean Valjean. But yeah, that's my deep cut. Les Mis.
Interesting artist picks.
Thank you.
I like them. If you had to pick one album to describe your 2025 so far, what would it be? Or like, what is it? Or if you're having trouble, top 3, you know.
Well,
like-
since my top 3 is Les Mis, that shows how much I know about music. Well, you know what? Let's make it Les Mis. Let's make it the Miserables. You know, it's been a long year. It's been my senior year. Did my student observation last semester. The teacher that I did not like very much. That was miserable. She was like my Javert. She was putting me to work. And then this semester, it's been very nice. I had a good student mentor teacher. He can be my Valjean. And I'm Marius, and now I'm starting to mix
That's good.
metaphors, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'll put Les Mis.
I've dabbled in Les Mis, so I understand completely.
Thank you.
Okay, if we're going on the musical track,
Let's do it, let's do it.
I'm gonna say it's like, I'll say 6 for right now.
Ooh, okay.
Because it's tragedy, but great.
Relationship problems. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So and then I want to say Brat. We have to bring
Yeah,
back.
you gotta pop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, nothing's coming to mind right now, but like if you guys have any recommendations, right now I am feeling so like burnt out and procrastinating all of my studying and working on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have anything that seems like that vibe.
Got you. You should
Yeah.
listen to Earth Breaks by the Self-Field Experiment.
Okay.
It's like
That's
very
a niche.
experimental, but it's super nice.
So experimental.
Okay.
It's in the name.
Yeah. But if you don't have like a favorite, or like if you don't have an album that you would describe your 2015, you mentioned you like genres a lot. So what genre would you describe it?
Ooh. I would say, I've actually been listening to a lot of jazz recently.
Okay.
I have as
And-
well, actually.
Yeah. And so I think, just going with the flow. Jazz goes a lot with improv and stuff.
Do you have a favorite
They-
jazz artist right now that you like?
Ooh,
or-
Leve just released a new song.
She did.
She did. And then, I think that's the Groove Society. They're a a cappella jazz group. And I used to be in an a cappella jazz group, so I really liked them, and we performed a chart of theirs.
What instrument did you play?
A cappella, so
Oh,
I
like-
sang.
so you
It's
sang,
all,
okay.
yes, it's all, no instruments.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So kind
Pitch
of to
perfect. Exactly.
Pitch Perfect, yeah.
Pitch perfect. Like,
Pitch Perfect Jazz Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly like
I
that
would
a
watch
lot.
that. I would watch that. If there's
that
enough
good.
Pitch Perfect media out in the world, we can get
And
another
people
one.
love Pitch Perfect
there
to
you
go.
this day.
Yeah.
It up.
Bring it back.
100%.
Bring back Pitch Perfect 4.
Soon. Anyways, kind of to wrap up, do you guys want to do like a little quip or a little improv game?
We would love to do an
Yes.
improv game. This is a red light classic. It's called Sex with Me. All right, we'll get some suggestions from you guys here in this room, and we're going to try and give some examples of how that object or that suggestion relates to fellatio with us. Okay?
Okay.
So, could we please get a suggestion of a location? Maybe somewhere you've went in the past week, maybe somewhere in the past month, somewhere recently, somewhere today.
Maybe like a boba store?
Boba store. Oh, a boba store. Sex with me is like a boba store. You gotta suck on those balls.
Ooh.
A Sex with me is like a boba store. There's so many flavors.
Oh.
Sex with Me is like a boba store. It's because I got a larger straw than a normal coffee store, So, yeah.
Exactly. He's compensating.
Yes, I am.
Could we get another suggestion? Could we get maybe a suggestion of an object that you use today? Maybe a tool, maybe something, maybe anything you'd like. Anybody in the room? A hairbrush.
A hairbrush.
Sex with me is like a hairbrush. Too much hair. Too much hair.
Sex with me is like a hairbrush. I use it.
Sex with me is like a hairbrush. At the end, we're all kind of knotted, So,
All right, we got time for one more suggestion. Could I get a suggestion of, let's say, your favorite holiday, your day of the year? Doesn't even have to be a holiday.
Well, we'll make it on theme Easter.
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 Ooh.
Sex with me is like Easter. I've come again.
Sex with me is like Easter. You will be handing out a lot of eggs. Yeah.
Sex with me is like Easter. You have to open an egg for the surprise.
And that was our
scene. That was our scene.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Battle of the Bands is on April 30th. Be there to see Red Light School District.
Red
So-
Light School District.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much again. And that's UIC Radio signing out. Thank you so much.